Welcome to the very first episode of Hot Pocket, the show that interviews your favorite evil villains of your childhood fairy tales. I'm your host, and our guest today is, drumroll please, Anastasia Tremaine, one of the infamous evil stepsisters from Cinderella. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
So, tell us, what really happened with Cinderella?
Let's start from the beginning. My mom and my sister, we all lived together. Then, my mom got married to this guy who unfortunately had a daughter.
That daughter was Cinderella, correct?
Yeah, we obviously wanted to get rid of her, but she was a kid and my mom's not that terrible. We decided to keep her and make her useful, of course. As her stepsisters, it was our job to pick on her and prepare her for the real world. So, she'd do all our chores and keep the house clean. One day, the prince sent out an invitation to a ball to everyone in the kingdom. Drizella and I were so excited, but we knew if the prince invited everyone, that included Cinderella. And we didn't want her to ruin our chances of getting with the prince, so we told her she couldn't go.
And how did Cinderella react to that?
Well, she was upset, of course, but when we made the decision, it was in her honor. We didn't want the poor girl to embarrass herself. Or us.
Right. How was the ball?
It was amazing. Drizella and I were having so much fun. Later on, we see a girl come in, and she was absolutely gorgeous. She had a beautiful gown on, and everyone's eyes were glued to her. She was dancing with the prince. Then the clock struck 12 and she ran away. But she left one of her glass slippers. We went home and Cinderella was where she belonged, by the cinders. When we woke up the next morning, we saw the prince riding through the kingdom, shouting about a glass slipper. He went from house to house to find a girl who the glass slipper belonged to.
What happened when he arrived at your house?
Well, he put it on me, but the slipper was too small. Then he put it on my sister. Still too small. The prince asked if there's any other girls who lived here, and we said no, we didn't want him to find out about Cinderella, because Cinderella didn't go to the ball, so why bother? But, of course, she comes into the room and tries the slipper on, and...
And?
It fits her perfectly. Everyone was shocked.
So Cinderella was a mystery girl at the ball.
Yes. Then, Cinderella and the prince got married.
What an ending. Well, Anastasia, I think this was a very successful interview. I had lots of fun, and I hope you did too.
I did. Thank you again for having me.
You have just listened to The Hot Pocket with your host and my guest star, Anastasia Tremaine. Subscribe to my podcast on whichever streaming platform you're listening to this on. Next episode where we will interview the evil queen from Snow White. Thanks for tuning in.